You may remember this story. Last summer, a very creepy guy walked into the women's locker room at the Wi Spa. Remember that? Witnesses say he exposed himself to several women as well as an underage girl.
LA County DA's office has filed charges against the person accused of indecent exposure in a women's locker room at a Los Angeles spa. You may remember the incident back in June touched off protests outside the Wi Spa in Koreatown over transgender rights. Police identified the person involved as 52-year-old Darren Morager of Riverside County. Morager, who has been a registered sex offender since 2006, now faces charges from another locker room incident in 2018 and has a long criminal history.
And right before this newscast, the woman who posted this video told me that she is planning a protest here at Wi Spa this Saturday. But as you can imagine, there will likely be counter-protesters as well. Reporting live from Koreatown, I'm Chris Holmstrom, KCAL 9 News.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for that.
These demonstrators showed up to support trans rights and Wi Spa person.
They get to make that call. If you don't like it, go to a different business. Don't harass them.
The woman who posted the video also posted about the planned protest of the spa for Saturday morning. Counter-protesters arrived earlier. SoCal Antifa tweeted its support and called for people to show up.
I think that, you should let people live their lives, and you should let trans people live their lives how they want to.
Demonstrators against trans rights showed up with signs reading "Shame on Wi Spa." This man calling out over a bullhorn that the crowd is on its way to hell. Several people in black attacked the man as others pulled them off him, demanding that he leave. Down the street, we found another man bleeding. Witnesses say he was hit in the head with a skateboard. LAPD moved in to separate the crowds when this shirtless man also stepped in, holding what appeared to be a chain or beads.
You guys are abominations. What?
Police put the man in handcuffs and escorted him away from the crowd.
You have 10 minutes to disperse.
Wearing a black hoodie, black pants, black mask, and black gloves.
You don't need that sign. That sign doesn't do anything for anyone. You're just hating on people for no fucking reason.
Really? Are you being violent to these young people?
Lady is not. Transphobes. Transphobes. Go home. Transphobes. Go home, transphobes.
Okay, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Don't carry.
What was this? Let's go.
I don't mind fucking leave them. I just don't want to see their bleeding. I don't give a fuck, bitch. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get your musty ass out of here, bitch.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Nobody gets the fuck out. You can walk away. Get the fuck out. I'm not leaving till I get my Go home, transphobes.
Around a dozen people were arrested Saturday after police declared an unlawful assembly near Wilshire and Rampart Boulevards. Officers say demonstrators were throwing smoke bombs and projectiles at them. After breaking it up, police found multiple items people were not allowed to carry during a public assembly, including a stun gun, knives, and pepper spray.
Unfortunately, this incident resulted in following reported crimes taking place on July 3rd. 1 robbery, 3 violent assault with deadly weapons, a battery on a police officer, 6 battery reports, an annoying text email with a total of 12 reported violent crimes. Several pro-transgender rights group protesters pushed a female white anti-transgender rights protester to the ground in front of our officers. It is at this point that a protester moved around other protesters and with her right hand that was initially down to her side, raised it up while holding an unknown type of canister. The protester extended her right arm out and dispersed what the officer perceived to be OC or pepper spray towards him. At which point, one officer fired a single beanbag round at the protester, striking her in the abdomen area. Upon closer review of the video, it was determined that the protester dispersed silly string at the officer. During our briefings with the officers, they are reminded that protesters are known to carry OC spray, bear spray, and other weapons and use them towards our officers as they have in the past. In fact, as stated earlier, 55.07 of the Los Angeles Municipal Code warnings had been made to the protesters, and OC spray and other weapons recovered throughout the protest site during this event.
One brave woman confronted the staff at We Spa for allowing this.
It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, We Spa, condone that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he can stay there. He can stay there. What sexual orientation? I see a. It lets me know he's a man. He's a man. He is a man. He is not no female.
We wish we knew who that lady was, because she's a hero. Because she was noting the obvious. This is a crime. This is a sex crime. So, of course, the rest of the media decided it must be a hoax. But it was not a hoax. And the person who stayed on this in the media, there was only one. It was Andy Ngo. And he identified this pervert, a guy called Darren Marager, who turned out to be, you'll be shocked to know, a career sex criminal. Marager then went on the run for 15 months. He's just been arrested and charged with several felony accounts, including, wait for it, indecent exposure. So as we said, Andy Ngo is the journalist who reported this in the first place. He's editor-at-large of the Post-Millennial. He's author of the New York Times bestseller Unmasked: Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy, and he joins us tonight. Andy, thanks so much for coming on. I mean, this is a horrible, sad story. I should not be chuckling at it, but your vindication is so complete that I just can't control myself. What's your response to learning that everything you said was true?
Well, I guess maybe this can be some, hopefully, pathway for the people that law enforcement have identified as victims. There are 2 open felony cases against this trans-identifying suspect. They do include women as well as underage girls, involving 2 separate changing room, locker room incidents in Los Angeles County. The arrest happened last week on the 13th of December. I did reach out to the LA Sheriff's Office, and they did confirm that even though Marager has legally identifies as female, and under California law, it's self-ID, but because of the anatomy of this person, Marager is being held in a men's inmate facility at the moment.
What would you say to the members of the media who dismissed your initial reporting as a hoax?
Well, I would say that you all are so driven by narrative that it blinds you to your own biases, and you often make very big mistakes, and you owe an apology to the women and girls and women's rights activists who spoke out at that time. Many of them, by the way, were subjected to violence because Antifa organized violent direct actions to assault people outside the We Spa. So there needs to be an apology, but we know 15 months on, that apology hasn't come and won't come.
Yeah, speaking as someone who was himself attacked and injured and wound up in the hospital from Antifa's violence, you would know. We appreciate your coming on tonight to tie a bow around that story. Andy Ngo, thank you.
My pleasure.
There's no such thing as transgender. He has a dick. Okay? He has a penis. His penis is hanging out. Okay, no, I'm not one. Actually, I'm a woman who knows how to stand up and speak up for my right. As a woman, I have a right to feel comfortable without a man exposing himself, okay? No, you go somewhere else. Okay, so that's right. No, he's not a transgender. He has a penis, just like you do. Are you?
No.
Yeah. Okay, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
Okay, that's traumatizing to see that. I'm a woman. I think this is a place right here, I'm told, only for women. So how dare you sit up here and tell me I don't have a right as a woman to defend?
If it's a transgender.
I'm telling you, he has a penis, a full and testicles. Okay, and I don't care what it's a man. You got one? You're a man. Okay.
And if we went into the men's section with our anatomy, that would be...
Well, it would probably, but you might not like women, so it might not, okay? And we don't know, but for me and for a lot of other women, they do not feel comfortable, and it's not okay. Okay? So, well, yeah, you're sorry. You should be, sweetie, and you're out of alignment, and this is not right. I can tell you that much, all right? And I know you're out of order. Yeah, it must be hard. It must be hard not being a real man, huh? Try it.